And we're back. What's going on, everybody? It's me, your long lost digital homie, Super Dave. And we're back with episode number 7 of the Super Dave Stories podcast. Guys, this is a creepy number for me, number 7. As you guys know, Valid Opinions Live, my last show, only made it to 7 episodes, and we were on the rise doing some great stuff, and it all went to hell as I had a breakdown right in front of you guys. I lost so much respect of the viewers, I lost so much respect of my peers, but I'm still here standing, and I'm stronger than ever. And you know, you guys look in the bottom right hand corner of your screen right now, and you will see that this episode is brought to you guys by the XNT. More information on that soon, but it's been a while, guys, at least 2 or 3 weeks since I've actually posted any content on any of my platforms. You know, I still stay, regular on X, also known as Twitter, but no videos have been going out for me, guys. I had to take some time for some self-reflection, figure out who Super Dave is, and guys, I dove back into the Discord pool, and that's after all the Discord PTSD I have from dealing with the last characters that I was involved with. If you guys look to the lower left hand side of the screen, you will see that there is a new Super Dave mascot, and I am loving it. Everybody was saying, hey, why doesn't Super Dave have glasses? Well, like my boy Parking Tigers, that is, he says, MILTOWNSBEST needs glasses. Super Dave does not. His vision is absolutely perfect. And can we talk about his luscious flowing ponytail? Absolutely beautiful. I am so in love with this rendering of myself, and I just can't thank whoever made it enough. You guys, so much has developed lately, and everybody's asking, Dave, are the rumors true? Did you relapse? Are you back on drugs? Super Dave is back on drugs, y'all. And they're saying that because, I posted recently, Pool Shark by Sublime. For those of you who don't know, Pool Shark is a song about addiction. Bradley's struggle with opiates, heroin more specifically, and I struggle with thoughts, invasive thoughts of relapse a lot. No matter how much clean time you get, sometimes when the going gets tough, relapse sounds really good, guys. And I'm not going to lie, I was on the edge there, being alone, being sad, hopeless, and not having the proper tools in place. That's all a recipe for disaster, and disaster to me is relapse. So this was my cry for help. We're going to talk about me making peace with some characters in the commentary community down the road today, but this was my cry for help. This was me letting you guys know I'm struggling. This Pool Shark song has always really spoke to me, both in my addiction and while recovering, while trying to maintain sobriety. This song is so powerful and so moving, but so is the other song I posted, and this is going to answer all your questions on if I relapsed or not. This song here by Anna Clendening, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. Such powerful lyrics. Anna speaks on this, its song's called Relapse, and Anna speaks on her issues with alcohol. Now, addiction is addiction in my brain. I just take her lyrics and I equate them, instead of alcohol, I put my substance of choice in there. And this song, basically talks about the struggles she had and how she cannot throw away all that clean time for a relapse. And guys, this song right here should answer your question. I did not relapse. I called my sponsor. That's what you do when you have thoughts that are intrusive and really eating at you every day, and you feel like the walls are crumbling in on you. And recently I've just been lashing out, guys. I've been emotional baby, and that's not a good thing all the time, guys. I always say that this channel is an avenue for my emotions, but to the point lately I've been really abusing other content creators for no real reason, just because I'm hurt. I want to hurt other people. And that's the person I don't want to be anymore. but I'm being real here with you guys. You're going to see the ups and the downs with me. You're going to see the bad and the good with me. I'm not trying to be a fake person. Will I be hypocritical at times? Absolutely. But I'm open to hearing why I'm being hypocritical. Most people don't want to hear that they're doing things wrong. And, as I dove back into the Discord pool, the first server I joined was Parking Tiger's PTSD Discord server, believe it or not. And I was bombarded with hate as soon as I joined the server. Even Slug, greeted me with calling me Methtown TV, which I've grown to just accept. This Methtown guy is a character at this point, and I'm gonna build onto that character's lore. Because I know in my heart that's really not me. I may put that person out there from time to time, but that's not me. But I was being bombarded with hate as I entered this server, and I'm not gonna lie, Parking Tigers was there to moderate it the best he could, and there was a user that basically said, Milltown, can I ask you, why did you unblock me? And I just looked inwards, and I basically wrote a response to this gentleman, and I said, I unblocked a lot of people because you all can't be wrong. At some point you got to look at yourself and say, hey, I'm the problem here. And in this case, I was the problem. The problem was Milltown. The problem was Super Dave. I was making people hate me, and I didn't even know why I wanted people to hate me at the time. And I'm sure people are going to hate me for a long time for the things I've said. I said some very out of pocket shit. And, everybody says, Dave, you're a flip-flopper. You're a flip-flopper. No, I'm not a flip-flopper. I'm a man of feelings. And, everybody was saying I was crying on the Badwick stream. Was I emotional? Absolutely, I was emotional, guys. That was some hard-hitting stuff. People were coming at me from all sides. And I stood on both my 2 feet, and I took it all in. Much like Huggy Bear did with World War Huggy that just happened. We're going to discuss that down the road, too. Guys, this is what happens when you don't do a podcast for weeks on end. There's just so much news that builds up, and you're just going to get verbal diarrhea from me. So if I switch topic to topic, please bear with me. I just got so much to get off my chest. So the first things first, Super Dave did not overdose. I was having a very, very, very hard time. And I'm not going to lie, that needle was looking mighty good for the longest time. That long sleep that other creators recommended I take didn't sound half bad there for a minute. And it has nothing to do with my content online. This has to do with IRL stuff that's going on in my life. Changes. I am not good with changes. I am a man who is stuck in routines. And once I am pulled out of my routines, it's damn near impossible for me. Especially once I get a routine locked in, and it's like the second something deviates, that goes out of my control, God forbid, look out, guys, because I'm temper tantruming, and I was on like a 2-month temper tantrum, and I took it out on all my viewers. I took it out on the people in the commentary community who didn't even know me or want to know me. I made it their business to know who I was. I was putting out so much that didn't represent me. This guy was this heel persona I was creating. I didn't even know why I was being this way. It was just so out of character for me. And I look back at it, and I should have just took the advice from so many of you viewers. You guys said, unplug, Dave. Find a hobby. Get into something. Take a break, man. Because while things are not in my control in my life, there are still many things that are in my control. And once I took the reins, I started feeling better, y'all. And I just wanted to let you know, guys, if you are ever struggling with thoughts of relapse, thoughts of sadness, thoughts of depression, please put on your favorite song. I'm telling you, if you put the healing power of music is something, y'all. I cannot say that enough. When I put on music, it takes me to a different time. And this song by Anna, this Relapse song, is so powerful. I would play it for you guys. But if you guys haven't noticed, I'm deathly afraid of DMCA's at this point. I am serious. I don't know what it is, but ever since all that drama with Jeremy Hales, that was a catalyst to a lot. And then when you put in the IRL drama that I'm dealing with, and the changes I'm dealing with, and the health issues my loved ones are dealing with, music helped so much, and it is still continuing to help me. And I only recommend, on days that you just feel like you can't do it, put your headphones on, go into a corner, and just vibe out, y'all. It is amazing. It's an amazing feeling. And not only did the music help make me feel better, it got them creative juices flowing again, y'all. Seriously, it really did. I can honestly say that I am feeling like the old Super Dave again. And like I said, as the creativity comes back, the want to engage in a community has come back, which makes me want to announce to you guys the very first ever commentary community year-end awards. This is something I'm going to be working on with the XNT, with the Parking Tigers server Discord. We're going to be creating ballots, and we are really going to we're really going to have our voices be heard about what we enjoyed and what we didn't enjoy this past year in the commentary community. We're going to be speaking on the best upcoming creator, the best audience manipulation, the biggest drug addict. I mean, we're going to have a bunch of silly categories, but we're going to have serious categories as well. I, for one, am very eager to find out who you all think is the stream of the year. Many people are saying Salvo Pancakes Buffalo Files is a serious contender. Other people are saying the Badwick Productions Milltown's Best interview is a serious contender. I believe some people have told me that Leigha something did an interview, or did a Liar McLiarson stream on Parking Tigers, which was very good. Needless to say, the names that you're going to be seeing all over this year's commentary community are going to be those who have participated. And another one for the stream of the year is also Peepaw Riveters When Doves Cry. A lot of people are saying that was the stream of the year so far. I personally am a big fan of Jessica Pizzle's interviews she just did with the likes of Huggy Bear, Maggot, and K-Chunk. And she did something so unique and so interesting. She did 3 separate interviews, premiering them all at the exact same time. Never, ever have I seen that done on YouTube at all. She had audience members, viewers jumping from chat room to video. Parking Tigers himself said he tried listening to all 3 of the interviews at the exact same time, thus giving him a headache. So inventive stuff like that, we are going to be tipping our hat to. The Google Doc is being created as we speak, and if you want to get in on the developing of this Google Doc, I recommend you join the Parking Tigers server Discord, PTSD. Also, various members of the XNT will be speaking on it, hopefully, which brings me, guys, to the XNT. Everyone's saying, what is this XNT? Well, guys, let me just take it to a visual aid for you guys, because it's something that is being started by none other than Parking Tigers. Parking Tigers has been banned from Twitter X. He is back, and this is his new account, Parking Tigers, where the I is an X. He's already up to 289 followers, guys. And for those of you who, everybody seems to think Parking is this big bad bully in the commentary community, and I thought that too when I first started. But I gotta admit to you guys, he just has an enemy in Hugin. And other than that, he is a very humble guy. He's open to being entertained, and he's been around for a while, believe it or not. And he is been taking on Hugin as of late, which I'm sure many people think is kind of like beating a dead dog. I mean, Hugin is so far down at this point. The guy's got like 40 followers on Twitter. He's not really of anything of note, but the man is seriously coming after Parking Tiger's family, which is a no-no in this case. There have been people who have came after my family, and I was able to turn the other cheek. Some people aren't able to do that, and I understand that. And which brings us to the XNT. Parking Tigers made a post about it, and he basically says right here at the XNT offices, we believe in turning the scariest evil streamers into X streamers. And, Parking Tigers does have, like I said, he's mainly going after Hugin lately, but here are some of the people that the XNT have issues with. Salvo, and he says it's because of his PP and cuck stuff. He's got issues with Edwin because, Edwin bummed Salvo, allegedly. The hashtag Dove Cult, which everyone seems to think I was a part of, and that's because they are doxers, and I can verify that. I am not a fan of the Dove Cult, more specifically Dove herself. I've seen the manipulation that comes from her, and she lies in waiting. She's seriously in the shadows, much like a ninja. I wouldn't say she's so much of a gangster these days, but still to this day we have not heard from good old Dovely, and that makes one wonder. Again, Parking Tigers is taking umbrage with CJ. I wish I knew the lore on that. He says Boogie's here. If somebody could tell me the lore on that would be great. Luke, another person I'm not too well versed on, but I am eager to learn what's up with Luke. He says, fat catfish sex pest. That sounds like serious allegations. Please, somebody explain. And then, of course, Hugin and the emojis say everything about that. So basically, guys, the XNT, we're coming after those. I wouldn't quite say we're anti-commentary, but we're about keeping commentary entertaining. At least me speaking, I am happy to align with these people. I'm happy to align with the Slug Empire. I think the logo in itself is better than anything that anybody in the commentary community is putting out lately. And the source for all this right now, until we can get an XNT Twitter page going, or an X account, whatever you want to call it, maybe there'll be an XNT YouTube page. I know Parking has reached out, and believe it or not, me and Parking have only ever spoke via text. We have never spoke in a VC. He has been in VCs that I have been in, but we've never had a real conversation. And I believe Parking said he would like to have it streamed the first time we speak, and I'm open to that. I've also had Slug reach out to me, and he wants to speak with me, which I'm open to speaking with Slug as well. But in this episode here, I'm going to speak a little bit on everything that happened between Slug and I. So when I do speak with Slug, the facts are already out there, and we can move on to how we plan on moving forward, because that's all I really want to do at this point in my life. Is it's not that I'm asking for forgiveness, or I'm asking for anybody to welcome me back into their communities with open arms. I just I want you to understand where I'm coming from, y'all. So, but basically, look at these awesome graphics, guys. This is complete Parking Tiger style here. I think it's awesome. Don't you guys think the XNT logo is really something? We got the Adventures of the XNT. You got Slug there, Parking Tigers. You got Vault Wanderer. I am not gonna lie to you though, guys. This masked man here with the dollar bill. Can somebody clue me into who that is? I'm really not sure. And then, as Parking said, there were rumblings of Super Dave DLC where, here we go. There are rumblings of a Super Dave DLC, Milltown's Best. And this art it's my favorite, guys. I don't know who made this, but I am a big time fan. Super Dave don't need glasses. Milltown's Best needs glasses, y'all. And look at the flowing hair. I mean, that is really me, guys, isn't it? I love it. I love the belly shirt, because if you guys really knew me, I've been putting on some weight lately, guys, and a lot of my shirts that's real to life there, guys. That's depression in its fullest for you guys. But I love it. I love it. Also, I believe Huggy Bear was given a new graphic, so I can only look forward to any new graphics coming out. But this is what I'm talking about, guys. Content, the designing, the motivating each other to make good content, to stop being lazy. You know, I was able to make peace with Slug, you guys. And Slug has, you know, a new Twitter account that he says it's just for his stream announcements, which, you know, it's cool. I've never seen that done before, but Slug, nobody can say that this kid is lazy. This kid streams, and I say kid with respect. Please do not take disrespect when I say kid. And in fact, I think you are younger than me, Slug. But he streams more than anybody I've ever met before. He's seriously going anywhere from 4 to 7 hours a day. It's impressive to see somebody stream for that long. I'm still getting comfortable just talking on the microphone and manipulating a chat and everything and edits. And, you know, this guy feels completely comfortable and, you know, editing a graphic while talking to people on Discord. And I bet you he's got, you know, a couple $1,000s invested into his setup, which, you know, I have no problem. I've always said this to Slug. I have no problem giving props where props are due. Even when I was in my head and I was coming after Maggot and all these people, I still gave props to Maggot where props were due. I do feel that Slug has a lot to offer with his creative mindset. The man is very creative. He does have good ideas and he executes, unlike a lot of people in this community who talk. And I don't mean to pile more shit on Valid Creations here, but look, let's just talk about the difference between a content creator and a wannabe. Okay, for example, Slug puts out content. Since everything happened with the hashtag Dove Cult, okay, I know she quit and everything, but she was putting out that video for almost 2 to 3 months, guys. She always, I'm working on my next video. See, with Slug, it's not like that. He just puts the content out and then lets it speak for himself. Lets the content speak for itself. He just doesn't always he doesn't always verbalize he's working on something. He walks the walk. He doesn't talk the talk, as opposed to a lot of people in this community, I feel, talk the talk. And I hope that the XNT really represents those that are walking the walk, because, for example, this year-end award show, and it's not me doing this, Peepaw, Xylee, Parking Tigers, people like that as the most as the greatest people of the year, as the most active content creators of the year. Because seriously, guys, you have to be making the content in order for it to be considered groundbreaking. And if you think about it, those that were there and actually putting out the content, sure, they all might not have been home runs, but all it takes is that one. For example, with Peepaw Riveter, When Doves Cry, you know, I bet you he didn't think that was gonna be biggest, you know, as big of a hit as it was. But seriously, it was a big hit for him. Leigha Something with her video she did with the Liar McLiarson on Parking Tigers. I don't think she thinks that was gonna be as big of a home run as it really was. Slug has done a lot of content this year, and a lot of content on me. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm sure a lot of people found it enjoyable. I personally didn't find it enjoyable because I was the target of them. And I will say, Slug, while being a little guy, can be ferocious when he needs to be. The man says he's a little guy, and I've come to adopt that. I have come to adopt those views on Slug, and I tend to agree. He is a little guy, and he is a creative guy. And everybody says, Dave, you know, even Slug says I'm retarded because I believed this person who I now believe was Hugin. I wish I had the messages still. but I printed them out, deleted them off, and I gave them to a buddy of mine when I was all in my I'm gonna sue Slug phase. But it was from a person named Kayla Hall. And this Kayla Hall said she was related to Slug, and that Slug's mother was upset with paying his rent. And I took that story and I ran with it. Where the quote unquote suicide baiting came into play, that was my doing when Slug essentially said he would rather kill himself before he would end up homeless like I did. And that's what I inserted. Well, I bet you that's how you get your mom to pay rent. Again, I was being trolled, who I think was by Hugin or someone in that camp, because, you know, I ran with the story without checking it. And if anybody has critique on me, it's that I don't do research. And I've come to agree with that. I do not do research as good as I should. And I speak on things without verifying it. I think I get a scoop and I end up with cake on the face, you know, pie on the face, because it's jokes on me in the end, because I didn't do, you know, my due diligence. And I think that is what happened with the Slug situation. And I have openly apologized to Slug for that. That is the last thing I want to do, is talk about anybody's suicide baiting or family matters, because I've had it done to me. And like I said, using your mental health is not always a valid excuse. So I'm going to take 100% accountability for my own actions and apologize and say, I believe this was a troll. Unless if Slug would like to confirm that he has a cousin named Kayla Hall, I was in the wrong with that. And that brings us again to Huggy Bear. So let me bring up Huggy Bear's page here, y'all. This is Hollywood Huggy. And look at that beautiful brand new Huggy Bear PFP, looking absolutely gorgeous. Whoever made these, you know, spot on to you. I wish I knew so I could give adequate credit. I want to say they are Parking Tigers originals, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But they sure are something awesome, guys. But Hollywood has I call him Hollywood. Huggy Bear has been going through a lot lately, you guys. With the Hollywood Huggy on Badwicks, he's been all over the place. A lot of people have been shitting on Huggy. And I was one of those people until he made, you know, I don't know if he took him down, but a lot of people have been, you know, trying to support him through this, because he did make accusations that he was gonna, as he called it, My Chemical Romance himself, I believe is what he said. He was posting stuff like, I have squandered a lot of opportunities. It's true, I could give you a bunch of excuses. I could chalk it up to fear, but the truth is that I'm trying to grow the fuck up for once. You know, I am on a quest to reclaim the best parts of myself before it's too fucking late. You know, and when he was saying this very dark stuff in his Twitter account, his X account, I felt for the guy. And I was like, this is somebody who seriously is crying for help. I felt like I needed to just say, hey man, all the shit talk between me and you, Huggy, it was just that shit talk. You made videos on me, I was chirping back. You know, that's all it was. And like I said, I wasn't in the right spot mentally. So really, Hug, I wrote a tweet where I just came out and said, you know, no hard feelings, Huggy. Seriously, this is how I feel. I feel that, you know, nobody should take their life over internet drama. There's no reason for it. So as we go back to my Twitter page, you guys, this is what I wrote to Huggy. I wrote, in all seriousness, I hope Huggy is all right mentally. For those who say he is fine and is just suicide baiting, to me, this seems like a genuine cry for help. I feel bad for the shit talking the man. I just was coming from a don't dish it if you can't take it. No real hate here. And then I put a red heart. And even Parking Tigers wrote, Even Parking Tigers wrote, for real, some of these people are school bullies, and I would not be surprised if one day they could have blood on their hands. And I cannot agree with that statement more. Guys, some people are emotional beings. I am an emotional being. Sometimes it's hard for me to keep it in check, but I try. Maybe we should just stop trying to be always right. Maybe sometimes letting somebody feel that they're right is giving them the W and lets them feel better that day. Handle it another day. You know, they'll end up finding out they're wrong in the long run, and they sure will feel like the asshole, best believe. But I feel like the bullying has got to stop, and that's part of the reason why I consider myself eager to join the XNT, because I don't think there should be a place for the way how Huggy Bear was treated by the likes of Maggot Edits and K-Chunk. Seriously, there's a lot going on here behind the scenes that a lot of the viewers are not really privy to. I wish you guys were privy to it, but there is a lot of posturing and a lot of, oh, look at how good I'm doing, and if you want to be good, you have to act this way and hang out with us. You know, in all seriousness, Leigha something did a stream the other day covering this whole Huggy Bear situation, and in my opinion, it was by far the greatest stream Leigha has done in months. I was actually in the chat and I was taking verbal abuse from Leigha, but I'm okay with it because it was entertaining. Leigha did this whole Milltown voice, and she said she's gonna do it every time I say something dumb. And I was in her chat from the very beginning, you guys. And she was covering the whole Huggy Bear situation. And this is what I had to say about the whole situation. I said, so let me get this straight. Leigha/Leroy, you choose, I don't judge, just did one of his best streams in months, then deletes it. Please make me understand all this. And dude said he did it because he was a spurgy Jew. Now no one will be able to hear your Milltown voice. I'm sad. Where's my kit? So me having fun again with the Dave Relapsed and all that. But I was so amazed with how Leigha was handling it from a professional standpoint. You know, I always thought she was chummy with Maggot Edits. I always thought they were buddy-buddy. But Leigha had no problem calling Maggot Edits out during this. And this in turn sparked like a little war between Maggot and Leroy that carried on to several other streams, which in my mind is a bit too much. It's talking about, you know, you're pulling too much content out of a minor situation. I personally, it went a bit too far, but this Leigha stream, I wish it was there for you guys to see it. The chat was awesome. For the first time I came back, this was the first chat I participated in since I consider myself back from my break, and I was just engaging in Leah's chat as a viewer. I didn't want to be Milltown, but guys, I have a hard time with alts. I find, you know, people think that it's being sneaky, and I'm afraid I'll get busted out using alts. So, you know, I'd rather just be Milltown. Wherever I am, I'm Milltown. So I go in the chat, and at first Leah's like, Milltown, you're weird. Why are you in my chat? Don't you hate me? And basically, whether I hate or like somebody, I like to hate watch. What can I say? You know, in the Howard Stern Private Parts movie, there's a line where Howard is going over his demographics, and he's like, the average Howard Stern listener listens for 3 hours a day. The average person who hates Howard Stern listens for 6 hours a day. So it just goes to show, you know, they say the top answer was because they want to see what he will say next. So Leah, consider that kind of why I watch your content, or I engage in your content, is because I find you entertaining to a degree. I may not agree with your flip-flopping all the time, but that doesn't mean I don't enjoy your content. Sometimes you do good work, and I will participate in chats. I think you got upset that I was kind of taking the attention off of you by speaking on me, which is understandable. I shouldn't be in your chat talking about my situations. I apologize for that. But I'm not perfect, so I mean, it was all fine. I noticed she had no problem with me in her chat, engaging with what she was saying until I mentioned, my content or Huggy's content about me. Then she spurred out on me like hardcore. Like, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. She went hard as hell on me. And I found it very entertaining. I don't mind people going off on me. I really don't, guys. I'm at that point where it's like, hey, man, if it's entertaining, have at it. You know what I'm saying? But I have no problem giving people props when it's worthy of props. Like, I wish this stream was still there, because this would be, in my opinion, contender for stream of the year for the commentary awards. It was so good, guys. She really went through basically line by line of this stream and, corrected the narrative where it needed to be corrected and called out those where it needed to be called out, which is what we've all come to appreciate from Leigha's content. But I did not like where she sidetracked her whole stream just to spurg out on me. Leigha, that was, like I said to you in the chat, carry on, carry on. Don't let me throw you off of your square. You are doing an amazing job until that one sentence threw you off, and then it seemed like it was hard for you to get your rhythm back and get back on track. And I apologize for that if I took you off your square. But future tips, for me, I will not talk so much about me in your chat. We've all come to realize that Supa Dave can be very ego driven, and but hate is a very, a word I reserve for very few. I can honestly say one person that I have kind of came to hate is Huggy Poogie. And it's not because of who Hugin is, but it's because of what he's doing to a certain person in this community, guys. So let me just pull this up real quick, because it doesn't sit right with me what he's doing to Clara. Hugin is really taking things and taking his Joker arc, and he's going on this next level, which is just really odd, guys. He's got 47 followers. He's really down in the dirt, and he's on this doxing thing. He's hanging out with a new crew. They're not even anti-commentary. They consider themselves hashtag total commentary death, which I really don't understand much about it. But basically, he's saying that he's gonna post crab claws through Clara's letterbox. Says he's gonna follow this girl around with a camera and berate her. And just for joy, here we go. I love how the same person has been posting the exact same docs repeatedly with people who did it, not having the balls to do anything outside of post information. What next, Spaz? Because you have scared to do anything? Crab claws front door. Like, he just keeps going on. I'm sorry, but who here thinks a certain someone won't stop crying when I turn up where their e-girls publicly and post crab claws through her front door? I'll be spamming that video nonstop every day. I'm also contacting all her in real lives and her interview. He just goes on and on. This man is obsessed, you guys. He's obsessed with Slug. He's obsessed with everybody. And I think we need to be worried about this gentleman at this point, guys. Mark my words, we're going to be hearing about Hugin on the news in the next 2 years. And it's not going to be for good reason, guys. I don't have much more to say about that, Hugin. But please, when you're bringing in this girl, Clara, who has nothing to do with it, your problem is with parking tigers. I wish you would be a man and handle it with the man who makes awesome art, who, he's how can I say it? He's like the Dennis the Menace of the commentary community. His hijinks are in good spirits, if you ask me. No way in hell does parking tigers... Here's what Clara wrote. Let me just make sure I get this right for you guys. She goes, wait, this dude threatened to stalk me the other day for the crime of, checks notes, being a loved one of a troll, and... flicks next page, having a claw hand. And then he posts pictures right here, guys. This is a 6-year-old Parking Tiger's mother, and Hugin felt the need to Photoshop his face onto Ryan Parking Tiger's father's head. This is deplorable, sickening stuff, guys. This is some stuff that even a therapist wouldn't be able to work through with a patient. I really fear for people's safety at this point. And, you know, there's so much talk going on about this whole Sniper Wolf doxing situation. And one's got to wonder, does the UK, the United Kingdom, do they have any laws against cyber stalking, harassment? Because this is, you know, it's weird. This is really, really odd behavior. And I am honestly amazed that the man has at least 47 followers. And everybody says, oh, Dave, you've supported this at one point. And I'm going to be honest with you. I did. I did not know this man was sick in the head like this. I may have cracked some tasteless jokes out of anger and spite and not having anything witty to come up with, so I went for shock humor. But this is odd. It's just odd behavior, and I don't know how somebody takes this stuff. Like, yeah, exactly, PT. He writes here, Hugin for jail. Exactly. He goes on, Parking Tiger goes on, you know, hey, what happened to the hashtag toil commentary death? Good question. Good question. I wonder what happened to that. Guys, there's so many questions to be answered, but I'm back in the scene now, guys. I'm here, and I'm talking from a real place that things have got to change in this community. And I'm not saying I'm going to be the one to usher in these change, but best believe I'm going to be on the good side, guys. I don't want to be on the bad side. Am I anti-commentary? Yes, I'm anti-commentary in the way that I do not like regurgitated bullshit, half-assed content. I do not like those who sit around and say they are content creators but make one video a year that is subpar at best. I'm not a fan of people who use their platform to really usher in diabolical actions. I think there's so many people in this community that don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes, and nor should they. I wish the best advice to take would be, don't engage with X person, this person, that person, because I started off as just a regular content creator posting 3 times a week. And then as time goes by, you know, once my strikes are gone on the Milltown's Best channel, you guys will really see how I got engrossed and got really infatuated with this commentary community. And likewise, you can see how it really took its toll on my mental health, you know, and it's not cool. I can look back on it all right now, like as I go and I rewatch some of these videos from when I first started in the commentary community. I thought it was so innocent and I can make this so great. You know, my vision for the commentary community is much like what D-Max's vision is for commentary 2. But really, what is commentary 2 at this point besides a merch line? The guy really isn't doing much besides being on other people's content. The man is not doing any real riveting, breathtaking content. He is honestly co-signing all of his little buddies, and it's honestly a merchandise brand at this point. Commentary 2 is nothing more than a t-shirt company, you know, much like how pro wrestling, a lot of people in pro wrestling, you know, they get involved in it for the merchandise sales, and it's like, bro, it's an art form. There's so much more to it. And I just wish D-Max, first of all, would do something with his voice, let his balls drop, and would put out some riveting content that is not anime or My Little Pony, My Little Brony, whatever it's called. I mean, seriously, I've noticed he has been taking the back seat a little bit more lately, and that is to be appreciated. You know, what is old becomes new again that way. It's called laying out, and I do see, like, much like I have been laying out as of lately, and it can only do good things for you. And I hope, you know, the longer D-Max stays away, and that gives him more opportunity to come back with a big boom, and then people can be like, oh yeah, that's why I enjoy D-Max. But another thing, guys, that I really want to speak on is Joshua Putman. Do you guys know much about this Joshua Putman individual? What I know about him is it's kind of a curse, the Joshua Putman curse. Ever since I got involved in the commentary community, I have been bombarded with tags and messages from a man named Joshua Putman, also known as Joshua, aka Jesus. And again, I'm going to Parking Tigers for this because I always wondered, what does this guy look like? Who is Joshua Putman? And guys, Parking Tigers found this riveting video about the man, and I want to play it for you guys. So give me 1 second. All right, everybody. So let's take a look here. So, yep, this is the great Joshua Putman. Now, I'm sure if you're involved in the commentary community at some point, I'm sure you've got tagged in one of this gentleman's posts or had him messaging you, asking you the most random off-the-wall stuff. But guys, I have to say that this is a PT find. This is the actual great Joshua Putman. This is his TikTok. And talk about a riveting piece of content. We like to call this the great fight between Baba Streams and Jelly Bean. So I just want to show you this master of entertainment. Let's take it right now to the great Joshua Putman.
Hi everyone, and there's this YouTuber named Baba Streams.
He dives right in.
And Baba Streams docs a YouTuber named Jellybean. And I went to the Baba Streams Discord server and I asked Baba Streams, why are you claiming that you didn't dox Jellybean?
Now, if there is one thing we all know about this Joshua Putman character, is he is like the commentary community doxing police. Seriously, this guy is like absolutely everywhere. All he cares about is doxing, in my opinion. Every time he posts something, it's about this person doxing, this person is doing this. He's like seriously the personal detective of the commentary community who only cares about doxing. And in this case, he is worried about Baba Streams doxing the great Jelly Bean. So here we go.
And Baba Streams is saying it's because it's public information. And one of Baba Streams' friends named Tommy is saying it's public information.
Lots of moving pieces in this story. Only Joshua Putman can handle such a heavy-duty story. I gotta give him props. I mean, look at those dry lips. The man has seriously got a dry mouth. It's like the Sahara Desert in there. But he is not letting that slow down his delivery one bit. And I, for one, give the man kudos for delivering such riveting, awesome news. So let's hear it full force from Joshua Putman.
And one of Bobby Stream's, friends named, Tommy, called me a loser and an idiot.
How dare you? How dare you? Joshua Putman is a protected class here in the commentary community. If we didn't have Joshua Putman, we would have nobody to deliver us this great, compelling, honestly, riveting information. I, for one, thank Joshua Putman for not only delivering this news, but suffering through having such a dry mouth. And look at those crusty lips. He just powers through it and gives us, the nitty gritty.
I said that they can't, he confirmed that the stories are real. And he called me those names because I didn't like how Baba Streams doxed Jellybean. And like quite a few people were saying I took an L because I didn't like how Bobby Streams.
You could never take an L. At least in my heart, Joshua Putman, you are an amazing lad. And for real, you are a protected class in any Milltown's Best chat. And I know many people find you, honestly, not odd, but awesome. So with all that being said, finish up your story here, Josh, because I just had to enlighten the audience to some of your amazing work, bud.
Dogs Jellybean, and I didn't believe their stories because they didn't show proof of the stories ever happening. And
like I said, he's a detective, guys.
They just banned me in Baba Stream's Discord server.
How dare you?
They were mad that I didn't like how Baba Stream talks Jellybean, and they were mad that I thought that the stories were 100% fake, and almost everyone is saying that the stories are fake though.
How dare you? How dare you? Joshua, your stories are always legit. You are a true legend, a true professional, and like I said, you are a protected class. In any of my chats, you are welcome, and I only wish that more people would take a page out of the great Joshua Putman's book. Are you guys buying this at all? With all that being said, that's Joshua Putman. I just wanted to say that was another great PT find. Seriously, Parking Tigers is really always up to mischief, and he finds some of the greatest stuff, guys. I only wish that he would do a honest to God podcast of his own. The man has been indulging in seriously giving so many people great content. I honestly wonder, when is the man gonna keep it for himself? I asked him that the other day. I said, seriously, PT, when are you going to do a show of your own? And he basically said he was talking about it with shadow humor, which is another thing. For the first time, I can honestly say that Shadow and I are not at each other's throats. I'm serious. It's a great feeling knowing the guy is not going out of his way to say I'm a piece of shit. Honestly, I've made it my mission in life to get Shadow Humor to say he can tolerate me. I don't even want the guy to like me. I just want him to be able to say he can tolerate me. But seriously, guys, Parking Tigers, seriously, the man has done a lot for this community, and instead of getting kudos and, you know, really getting good reception from the community, the man gets shit on and treated like a complete pariah, which is, you know, why I think he is really taking off with this XNT. And that brings me back to a show recap, guys. I've been able to make peace with Slug. I've been able to make peace with Huggy Bear. You know, the XNT hopefully will, you know, give content where content needs to be given. We will be providing the content that all these shit streams will be copying and speaking on, because that's just what we do. We are content creators, as opposed to people who are just followers or people that are just assholes, bullies. I don't stand up for bullies and assholes, you know. And we spoke on the Huggy Poogie. The guy is dangerous, and I'm really starting to worry for the safety of certain people in this community. And I only hope that some people come to their senses, because this is just not cool, y'all. You know, episode 7 in the books. I wish I had more for you guys. I'm going to start doing more watch-alongs and stuff like that. I just had to kind of let this all out, verbal diarrhea, so to speak. And I'm trying to show you guys where I'm coming from. I am feeling so much better mentally. And I want to say thank you to all of you who have been by my side through my ups and my downs these past few months. It's been a real hard time for me. And I'm finally starting to see the sunlight again, and it's a great feeling. And I want to provide you guys with awesome content as a thank you. With all that being said, guys, I love you. Take care, and I'll see you hopefully next week. Peace.